Good morning. Welcome again to Morning Devotions. And thank you again so much for our time together. I'd like us to come back today to Romans chapter 9, a passage called God's sovereign choice, and how God sovereignly chose the people of Israel and put a destiny in their lives. How God sovereignly chose Jacob over Esau and put a destiny in his life. And I want you just to, with that in mind, verse 14, what then shall we say? Is God unjust? Not at all. For he says to Moses, I will have mercy on whom I will have mercy, and I will have compassion on whom I will have compassion. It does not therefore depend on man's desire or effort, but on God's mercy. It does not therefore depend on man's desire or man's effort, but on God's mercy. The mercy of God is one of the most neglected truths in the Bible. I can remember preaching for a man who was a very good friend of mine. And I preached a sermon on mercy, and he afterwards said, I was always taught that the only people that need mercy are the people that don't have faith. And I just smiled to myself and thought, never mind. I mean, there's no point in getting into a debate. Mercy is one of the most beautiful truths in the entire Scripture. It is the most common prayer, the cry of the human heart for mercy. It is not something that can be demanded. It is not something that can be forced. It is only something that can be freely received when it is freely given. Now, you need to get a revelation in life that you are not where you are in life because you're smarter than everybody else, and you are not where you are in life because you have more desire than anybody else, and you are not where you are in life because you're a bigger shark swimming with the littler sharks. You are where you are in life because of the mercy of God. Now, if you can begin to get a revelation of that, it takes all of the pride and it takes all the arrogance out of our lives. Recently, my brother and I have a brother that's 2 years older than me, and we were emailing back and forth about where we grew up, and large sections of where I grew up in a dirty little town called Flint, Michigan is now complete ghetto with no electricity, no water going to it. And I sat down in fact, I looked it up on Google, and I was looking up the real estate things. You can buy a house for $5,000 or $6,000 where I used to live. They were 670 square meter houses that I grew up in. We were poor. And you can buy these houses now for $5,000 or $6,000, house and lot. You can buy the whole block. You can buy every house on the block. And I looked at that and I thought, where would I be without the mercy of God? Where would I have wound up if God had not been gracious to me and merciful to me? I would either be dead or in a prison someplace, that's for sure. Because I was not a very nice person, and I was not headed in any positive directions at all when I was young. But God had mercy on me. And I look at all the things that God has allowed me to accomplish, and I realize it's not because I'm smarter than anybody else, and it's not because I'm better than anybody else. It's because God is a God of mercy. Now, brothers and sisters, when you really sit down and begin to realize it does not depend on man's desire, it does not depend on effort, and I'm a hard worker, but it depends on God's mercy. When I get to heaven, I'm going to walk up and give God a great big hug and say, Lord, thank you for mercy, because I don't deserve anything you've ever done for me. I don't deserve anything you've ever let me to be a part of. God is a wonderful God of mercy. Would you just look around today and forgive me, choose to humble yourself under His mighty hand that He may exalt you? Let me say that one more time. You choose to humble yourself. You choose to recognize everything I have and everything I'm doing is because of mercy. And watch God give even more mercy.